Hi guys, I am doing this video in response to videos that Chris Stuckman and Your Movie Sucks did. And I just love those two guys' channels. I love their style of movie criticism. I think they're awesome. And they each did a video on the movies that fucked them up as kids or scared the hell out of them. Growing up in the 70s and 80s, I had a plethora of choices of things to mentally scar me for life, and I'm going to go through those with you today. Okay, so the first movie that scarred me is not even a horror movie, not even close. It's actually an adventure musical, and it's set in England and Ireland, or various parts of the UK, in the early 70s. I think it was 72. It stars Ron Moody, who played Fagin in Oliver, and Jack Wilde, who played the Artful Dodger. And it's called Flight of the Doves. And it's about these two children. I cannot think of Finn and Derval Dove, I think that was their names, brother and sister, who flee from the UK, from England to Ireland to their grandmother's house because their stepfather is trying to kill them to get their inheritance. Along the way, their uncle, Hawk Dove, gets wind of the fact that they stand to inherit a bit of dosh and decides to try to take it from them the hard way. So what he does is he dresses up as various different characters to try and gain their confidence. And the scariest one was, I cannot think of the name, it was a female roving reporter. And the fact that it scared me was not because Ron Moody was in drag, because I love drag. I love RuPaul's Drag Race. I've got a friend who does drag. I think it's amazing. Nothing like that. The reason that it scared me is because of Ron Moody's face. If you see this thing, he looks so freaking creepy. And there's a bit where he takes them to the White Cliffs of Dover, I believe, to take a photo of them, and he gets the camera all ready, and then he points to Derval, the little girl, and says, "Oh, there's just something on Derval's shoulder," and he just sort of reaches out. And, that was scary for a whole different reason. That's when the older brother, who hasn't believed the little girl all this time when she's trying to tell him something's not quite right, realizes that she was right all along and pulls her aside, and the Uncle Hawk Dove falls over the cliff. Now that, as a child, terrified me. Ron Moody's leery, smiling face, and the fact that their little faces were reflected in his big 70s sunglasses, the fiberglass nails. It was just, it creeped the shit out of me. Not a movie that dated well, as most movies in the early 70s that had a folk soundtrack, didn't date terribly well, but it's still a good family film, particularly if you want to teach little kids about stranger danger. Very good that way. So it's a fun little nostalgic thing. The next one, I'm going into the teen years now. I think I came home from a birthday party or a family event that went late into the night, and I was going to bed and I couldn't sleep, so I put on my little portable telly that used to be in my room. I was about 15, and there was a horror movie on TV called The Children, or The Children of Ravensback, depending on where you were. And it is a story of a small town called Ravensback, in which there is a nuclear power plant. The power plant springs a leak, and children on a nearby school bus that's passing by the power plant get, a blast of radiation, which turns them into electrocuting zombie children. It's so stupid today. I can sit there and piss myself laughing watching it. The acting is so bad. Think Sleepaway Camp. And yeah, I can laugh today, but at the time, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, when you see a woman standing against a gravestone, having a little boy grab her by the shoulders and burn her for alive from the inside out, it's pretty creepy. But yeah, now I can sort of look at it and think, oh my God, what was your malfunction, you twat? But yeah, it's a fun, campy little C-grade horror movie. I think it screens on like Midnight Madness B movie shows and things like that, and deservedly so. It's as campy as anything. The next movie I want to talk about that scarred me, I actually had no right to be watching in the first place. I think I snuck out of bed late one night and it was on telly. My mum was asleep on the couch. And it was, I think I would have been about 10, maybe. And it's called Dressed to Kill, which is now sort of infamous Brian De Palma thriller. That treads the line between tribute and rip-off when it comes to Hitchcockian sort of themes, and particularly Psycho. If you've seen Psycho, you'll know very well what's going to happen to Angie Dickinson's character very early on. The elevator slasher scene scared me so badly that I would not go in a lift on my own for about 5 years after. And to this day, it's actually quite a creepy scene. The movie itself today I can watch no problem, and I can appreciate it because it's beautifully shot, as most Brian De Palma movies are. I can appreciate the use of the split screen. That's become dated now, obviously, but at the time, you know, it was cutting edge. And yeah, I can just appreciate it for being a beautiful looking film and very camp. But when you're 10 years old and you see that at like midnight, it'll scare the crap out of you. The last movie I'm going to talk about, I was 12 or 13. My mum said, oh, you have to watch this, it's such a good movie, and it was on TV, so I did. And it scared the shit out of me. And it was called Carrie. And unlike the last 3 entrants on this list, this movie still creeps me out and I still can't watch it. I even had the DVD for a short time. I ended up giving it to my best friend because I couldn't stand the thought of it sitting in my DVD shelf waiting for me. I'm 44, folks. Yeah, I still can't watch Carrie. It's not only that I find it creepy and scary, but that prom scene, I find it gut-wrenching to watch. You know, heartbreaking and scary at the same time, and I just can't bear it. And that's a testament to what a brilliant mind Stephen King and Brian De Palma both have, because they just, yeah, they wrench every last bit of emotion out of that story, and yeah. And, you know, and there's a reason that of all the remakes and sequels and what have you that have since cropped up, it is the best. Because it's amazing. Not that I had a problem with the latest remake with Chloe Grace Moretz in it. I actually really liked it. I thought one thing they did better was the scene where Chris Hargensen gets hers. I thought that was much better. And yeah, as a former bullied kid, I was particularly satisfied with that scene. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, and Carrie, to this day, I still can't watch it. So, yeah. Your humble videographer is a wuss. Anyway, that's it for the movies that screwed me up as a kid or scared me. Let me know in the comments what movies you were terrified of as a kid and still can't watch to this day. I'd be really interested to see if anyone else has the same feeling about Carrie. Or whether I'm just a wuss. Yeah, and I will see you guys next time. Tune in. Bye.